Hi everyone. The answer to which of the 5 facts I told you was a lie will hopefully be coming tomorrow. But today, I just want to talk about a few things. Well, one thing really, and let's see how the video evolves. I was thinking about how a lot of Christians talk about atheists not having any sort of moral compass or moral centre. They don't have an objective place to from which to get their morals from. And I've been wondering. I was wondering why they do this, and I think it's because to them there's a lot of not personality, a lot of projection going on, and they do equate atheism to their belief in God. To them, for a lot of Christians. As I said, a lot, because some Christians don't apply here, but a lot of Christians, for a lot of them, their God takes up their whole life. You know, it's pretty much they eat, drink, and sleep God. You know, pretty much every waking moment they're thinking, oh, you know, what would God do? You know, what would God want me to do in this situation? How could I better serve Him? You know, what does the Bible teach me about situation X, or you know something like that. So you know, from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep, their thoughts are filled with God. It takes up their entire life. It's pretty much like an all-consuming obsession, really. And they equate that, and they equate atheism with the same sort of thing. That they imagine that atheists are, you know, we sort of think about how can I best not believe in God at this moment? You know, how would an atheist go about doing this hypothetical situation? You know, and really, it's not like that. The only way they are comparable is that they are both beliefs in God. If you see what I'm saying, one is for, and one is sort of negating that belief. But they're both about God, and that's really where it ends, because. In my opinion, atheists, they don't really think about it, you know, as much as, say, Christians think about God. We don't think about, you know, disbelieving in God all the time. A lot of atheists, you know, they do have their own lives. For atheists, it's not that big of a deal. And even for atheists that are here on YouTube, who seem to make a lot of videos, it's really not a big part of their life. And it's because we only see them making atheist videos. We assume that that's, or probably a lot of Christians assume that that's how they live their lives, but really it's not. I mean, especially with me, I have a lot of other interests away from atheism, religion. It's still a subject that I'm very interested in, and I still make videos about. But you know, it's not my whole life. You know, I love films. You know, I love watching films at home. I love going to the cinema. I like spending time with my family. I like spending time with my girlfriend. You know, I have all these things that are completely separate from my atheism and my disbelief in God. And that's where I think a lot of Christians are wrong, especially a lot of fundamental Christians are wrong when they try to equate atheism to their own religion. You know, because their belief is such an all-consuming thing for them. They assume that atheism is all-consuming for us, when really it's not. You know, for some of us, it's the farthest thing from the truth. I mean, you know, there are some atheists on YouTube that don't really make any really atheist videos. You know, it's just who they are, and you know, as I said, they have lots of other things they like to do. They have lots of other hobbies. They have people they like to hang around with, and you know, their atheism could just be a very small part of their life. But you know, fundamentalist Christians, I say, they equate it, and I think they're completely wrong. And because Christians, a lot of Christians, you know, a lot of other religious people really as well, you know, Muslims and Jews and whatnot, they seem to get everything that they've ever known, and they get it from God. They assume that we don't have them when when God is taken away, when really they're taking away something away from themselves as well. They're taking away from their own unique traits. We have all these perfectly naturalistic explanations for morals and empathy, selflessness, things like that, and to really attribute it to a god, it really sort of demeans humanity. Really, in my opinion, it takes away from how far we've come. How far we've evolved to be this sort of to get to the point where we are now, where we've made this entire world for ourselves. Completely, vastly different from any other animal that's ever existed on this planet, and to just dismiss it away, to say that God put us all here, it kind of takes away from how far our species have come on this planet. But anyway, that's just my opinion. A really fucking rambling rant. I apologise, and I apologise a lot as well. So I apologise for apologising, and I'll try not to keep on doing that. Anyway, those are just a few thoughts that were entering my mind. Christians, you have to believe that that we atheists, we atheists, as if we're like we all think the same. We have our own morals, we have our own ethics, we have our own principles that are unique to each person. Of course, there are a lot that we have in common, but we also have our own personal standards when it comes to various things. And we don't need any god to tell us what's right and what's wrong. And hey, if you don't you should believe us, just take it on faith. You can do that, can't you? Anyway, I've rambled on for long enough. Cheerio.